ventures. The second initiative we're announcing is that we want to, because it's the 25th year, and we think it's special and we want to make use of it, is that we would like to have an event which we're proposing to have in February next year at LUMS, who are very keen to work with us, bringing together as many of our past 200 plus Noon Scholars as we can. We've seen how successful some of them have been. We hope that they can either guide us or even maybe contribute to supporting further scholars if they're in that position. 25 years means that they should be in their 40s, they're beginning to perhaps fly financially. So we hope that we can tap some of that money, as happens in many universities. But if they want to give friendship and support and guidance, we want to work with them and build up the kind of family of Noon Scholars. So those are our two initiatives. And at that session, and we're thinking of the 28th, 29th of February next year in Lahore. You are all invited, most warmly, anyone who can get there. And we will have some keynote speeches. We'll talk a little bit about Pakistani development, and we'll also have a couple of sessions, we hope, looking at research, boosting research in Pakistan, because we feel we might be able to contribute on that front, and also boosting universities. There are 18, as I understand it, state universities and 70 private universities. But universities in Pakistan are not, look, by any stretch of the imagination, they haven't reached the heights that we would like. Maybe we can work to strengthen that. Maybe we can build partnerships, maybe we can encourage exchanges, academic freedom, that kind of thing. So we want to talk about that, and maybe some good ideas will come from our meeting in Lahore. Now, those are our plans, and I'm very grateful that you're here, and I will, as I say, write to you, or anybody, please write to us if you have any ideas. I would now like to move to the second part, which is to actually remember some of the people who've made this work possible, and thank some of the very people in this room, very special people who've supported our work. Before I do, I'm going to remember I'm going to recall some of the people who had wished they were here. We've invited a number of distinguished people. We've had very warm wishes for our work from Lord Patton, Chris Patton, the Chancellor, who has a special empathy for South Asia. Both Vice-Chancellors have sent their support, Louise Richardson from Oxford and Stephen Toop from Cambridge. Sir William Blackburn has sent his support from the Pakistan Society. We're very pleased that Sharma is here, one of our dearest friends. Peter Oborne, he's abroad. He sent his greetings, a nice sharp wit. Obviously he'd be here with the cricketing team that we have here. Sharia Khan sent his apologies yesterday. I don't know if the cricket was just too exciting or too stressful, but he did speak at a recent gathering of the Noon Foundation in London. And we've also had warm greetings from Malala through her father Ziauddin Yousafzai, who says that we should be very proud of our, in his words, important work that we do. So it's nice to be known and remembered for that. Now, I want to talk about Vicky. I did say that I would say a little bit more about her. A number of you, many of you in this room have met her. I've met her on a number of occasions, and I was, in the nicest sense of the word, frightened of her. Because once she fixed her stare on me, I was putty in her hands. And she asked me to work on this committee, and I said, look, I'm far too busy. You know, I've got far too much, as one does. We're all busy people. That's probably why we're here, because we do things. People here are people who do things. Anyway, she was, I mean, her enthusiasm, her kind of commitment to helping her many countries, because Pakistan was her primary love, but she came from Austria, she worked in Britain, and I was putty in her hands, and frankly, I'm so glad I was, because it's been an absolute pleasure to work on this committee. And we have had the pleasure, I had the pleasure of working with Manzoor Noon, her stepson, for many years as a trustee. What a wonderful colleague he was. What a gentleman he was. I mean, more of a gentleman than any Anglo-Saxon I've met, you know, with his nice handkerchief leaning out from his pocket, and always elegantly dressed. And it was such an honor to stroll through Mayfair to his club. I mean, you know, I'm a bit scruffy. You're looking at a kind of very spruced up version of me, you know, but to walk alongside Manzoor, you know, I felt 10 feet tall, quite frankly, and the meals that he shared with me were amazing. Mosiman, I think that Mosiman was his favorite chef. Can you imagine, you know, being invited to, can you pop up and come to dinner and we'll go to see Mosiman? I mean, you're not going to miss that, are you? So we miss him enormously, but we've had, since he passed away, the great pleasure of having Naila Halat Noon on the board, and it's wonderful to have a family member representing the kind of line directly from Vicky. And I would, with your permission, like to invite Naila to say a few words from the family.
Thank you very much, Paul, for your words, kind words, and you brought my father to life once again for me. So I feel very honored and privileged to be standing here before all of you. I prepared a little note which I will be referring to while I speak here. Benjamin Franklin said, "An investment in knowledge pays the best interest." And then we have different scopes, degrees, and qualities of knowledge. The process of acquiring knowledge is called education, but education is not just limited to obtaining information. It is, in addition to that, the unfoldment of one's highest potential, I believe. It is a broadening of vision, an expansion of one's being through immersion in the diversity and at once the universality of living culture, tradition, and evolution. Educational institutions serve as the breeding grounds of culture, channels of intellectual irrigation, and fields of our mental and aesthetic creativity, as well as investigative discovery. In being so, they serve to cultivate the personality of an individual through inspiration of higher ideals and the incentive to continue pushing towards the ever-receding frontiers of revelations in the field of human discovery and knowledge. Like I said before, I'm both honored and humbled to stand here today at St. Peter's College, Oxford, and address the august gathering of friends and colleagues of the Lady Viqarunnisa and Sir Feroz Khan Educational Foundation. Perhaps many of you know that this fund was founded by Lady Viqarunnisa Noon, my step-grandmother and wife of my grandfather, Sir Feroz Khan Noon, in 1992, with the implicit objective to provide the financial support necessary to capable Pakistani students for quality education at two of the world's best renowned and most prestigious universities, Oxford and Cambridge. Herself being raised through an English education and having later adopted Pakistan as her native country, she offered, through her generous contribution, a means for the confluence of these two great traditions, out of which she hoped would develop a mutually beneficial equation of collective growth. Once Kipling said, O East or West? Sorry. Contrast. O East is East and West is West, and never the twain shall meet, till earth and sky stand presently at God's great judgment seat. But there is neither East nor West, border nor breed nor birth, when two strong men stand face to face, though they come from the ends of the earth. We become strong through education and cultivation of personalities, and so there is no greater means of effacing prejudices and differences other than a noble education. There has been a tradition in the family of studying at Oxford or Cambridge. My grandfather, Noon, went to Wadham and graduated in 1916 with a bachelor's in history. He later went on to train as a barrister in London. My father, Manzoor Hayat Noon, who also served on the Board of Trustees for many years until his passing in 2011, also attended Wadham, where he studied jurisprudence. He continued the family legacy through business, political, and charitable ventures. One can count a number of other family members who've studied at both Oxford and Cambridge. It would not be wrong to say that we've had many decades of relationship with these two universities. And through the founding of this trust, Lady Vikarunisa Noon has established this kinship between Oxford and Cambridge and Pakistan for posterity. I took on the role of trustee after the passing of my respected father, Manzoor Noon, who had expressed his deep wish for me to take his place on the board of the trust. He felt that the family representation in the trust ought to continue. I'm greatly honored to serve the trust along with my esteemed colleagues and our beloved chairperson, Dr. Paul Flather, who through his admirable dedication has taken the work of the trust from strength to strength. It is my deep prayer that the important work will continue, and I'm confident that with the support of all friends of Pakistan and England, this trust will receive the due recognition and assistance for the good work. Thank you very much.
Wow, well, thank you so much, Naila. And there are